Welcome to the chapter called Stream of Consciousness Releases. Before we delve into the chapters which tell the fictional stories, I'd like to tell you how I came about writing Evil Lurking from Electric Chair to Kingdom Grace. Here we go. If you have purchased the textbook, you can follow along. Evil Lurking from Electric Chair to Kingdom Grace is a stream of consciousness narrative. Erwin R. Steinberg describes my process well. I was engaged in a mixture of all levels of awareness and a continual flow of sensations, thoughts, memories, associations, and reflections. I thought I'd lost my mind. I was writing not just one, but 4 projects. I wrote for endless hours. Sleep eluded me. This wave of words overtook my life between October 2016 and April 2017. The 4 projects are as follows. Emotive Expressions from Fragmentation to Serenity is now nearly 4 years later at 160 pages. It was given 5 credits toward my doctoral degree. The Dwelling Place, Reflections on My Journey to Wholeness. This entire project is currently at 120 pages. Evil Lurking from Electric Chair to Kingdom Grace. It's now completed. The workbook and the online course design are still in progress. This stream of or flow of words, ideas, and expressions have happened to me before. In 2010, I wrote a 50-page response to an assignment for a course I was taking. The course was called Personal and Spiritual Formation, and the textbook Celebration of Discipline, The Path to Spiritual Growth by Richard Foster. The spiritual content of this book impacted me deeply. The Spirit took hold of me and would not let me stop writing until I wrote the last word. It was weeks and weeks of writing, assembling, and rewriting. In 2015, though, I burned the entire printed manuscript in my friend's backyard fireplace because I thought it was impossible to complete. I posted a video of the burning on YouTube. Although I burnt the paper version called The Answer, Spiritual Disciplines and Breaking of Addictions, I occasionally picked up the project again, which is still available electronically. I hope to continue working on it as time allows. I have confidence when I'm more mature or spiritually disciplined, I will complete it. The emotional waves this current project, Evil Lurking from Electric Chair to Kingdom Grace, produced in me is no longer of tidal wave proportions. The waves are now calmer, more like the gurgling sound water makes when it runs over and through rocks while continuing downstream toward its destination. Like me, I'm also a lot calmer and more at peace, heading toward my eternal destiny. Paintings. I began painting the cover for this book, Evil Lurking, in 2008. I was working at an Edmonton mission at that time. Drowned in my pain, which was triggered continually while being surrounded by hopelessness and despair the clients exuded. With each paint stroke, I let my emotions out. I learned to focus not on excellence, but relief. I learned to rest my mind and heart from the pain I saw and personally experienced every day. One day I painted from morning until night. I created many paintings that day. I know exactly where at my kitchen table I was sitting and what I was doing. I engaged in an interior monologue which allowed my consciousness to experience a total range of awareness and emotive, mental, responses. That day, I was praying and releasing my deep burdens on canvas so they would not swallow me up. I talked to God. I let him hear my feelings and thoughts. And then I put all the unfinished pieces of art away for the next 8 years. In 2016, again, while sitting at my kitchen table, this time in my dorm room, I felt overwhelmed and despaired. I felt bulldozed over by the loads and loads of words I was consuming while reading assigned text and listening to hours of lectures. I was in desperate need of relief. Many friends were praying for me. The professors were praying for me. I thought my educational goal was impossible to complete. Quitting was an option I considered often. There was nothing tangible I could burn to symbolize my sense of defeat. That day, I took out watercolors and acrylics and painted for hours. Many abstract paintings described my soulish condition. Then I remembered the 4 paintings I had done in 2008. I diligently worked on them. I transformed 2 of the 4 images into landscapes. One of the landscapes is the cover of this project, Evil Lurking, From Electric Chair to Kingdom Grace. To my surprise, all of the art pieces created that day were turned into art journals. An art journal is a book where the left-hand page is blank and the right-hand side is lined. This way, one can document pictures or words or both while meditating and engaging in therapeutic journaling. To describe the picture Evil Lurking, I see one dying tree in the middle of the picture. The blackbird on top of that tree announces death. Surrounding the tree is much beauty and life. At the time of this creation, I did not know that I would write a Christian ethics resource. When I experienced a downpour of words and pictures in the prologue, I did not realize the connection between the art piece and the storyline. This realization came much later. I had no idea I would be creating this expressive work. Evil Lurking, From Electric Chair to Kingdom Grace addresses some of the stories I heard men and women share with me while working at ministries in Thunder Bay and Edmonton. I listened to countless stories of sexual abuse and trauma. Now I see how deeply these stories impacted me. I also feel the difference engaging in the creative art makes in my health. Origin. I do not know how and why the release of this deep inner consciousness occurred. Was it through my prayers? Did my reading, studies, and life experiences affect me so profoundly that they now need to be dumped out? I know I used to stuff my emotions deep in my soul. I had a couple of mentors who listened to me, but I needed so much more time. There was no opportunity for long-term emotional outlet for me. To be fair, for those who waited to engage more with me, I was not available. I was extremely busy and avoidant. As an introvert, I was isolating and hiding out in my own little world. For the most part, I enjoyed living this way. This kind of writing has become a release of my deep inner goings-on, and art has helped me do this. Wassily Kandinsky helped me gain some more understanding about 3 elements of origin. He says every artist as a creator has something in him which demands expression. This is the element of personality. I think of a time in my own story where a few years ago, like maybe 2014, I spoke out the words, "I will not be silent anymore." These words rose in me and I assertively meant what I said. But shortly after that, a man sexually assaulted me at the shelter before my message called, "I will not be silent anymore." I was going to blow the whistle on evil, which ruined my life. Evil, in turn, sought to keep me silent and fought back. The perpetrator was arrested and put in jail. Kandinsky says every artist, a child of their time, is urged to express the spirit of their age, and this is the element of their style, dictated by the period and particular country to which the artist belongs. I am of European descent, and as children we followed the unwritten rule, be seen but not heard. We had to be at our best behavior when visiting relatives. We knew better to listen or else. But how disturbing. We were taught to live a lie, to be two-faced. I want to be free of idols and bondage, and I hope to help others to become free as well. Kandinsky also said every artist, as a servant of art, has to help the cause of art. No one is more surprised than I about my attempts to work with art therapy in women's workshops, music therapy in chapel services, and recordings of various CDs. I'm furthering the cause of art's impact on the release of people's deep soul suffering. No one is more surprised than I about my journey into amateur art therapy, music, and writing workshops. I strongly suggest, because my inner being is open to the spiritual flow, I now paint and write songs. I believe the Holy Spirit to be my guide. His ultimate goal for me is yet unknown. I can only speculate at this point, but the future will tell. The future will also tell this project's purpose. Is my vision too far-fetched? Am I dreaming the impossible dream? Several readers mentioned how important this project is for today's church. Is it? Time will tell.